No.
No.
Don't come in at all.
Never.
Because we hate you, and we want you to go away
You
and
have
not bother
zero
us.
opinions.
Don't bother us during our manly time. We're talking about feelings and music and manly things.
So what if we have our penises in our hands?
All the
That's
time.
part of the process.
God damn it. How many weeks will my wife have to interrupt us?
Let's see. We're at 228 now, so we got another 300 more to go.
Okay, because remember back when we used to record and she would like be off at school or far, far away from
Yes.
our podcast studio?
Then we just have to contend with an infant in the room.
I know. And then
Those
you,
are simpler times.
And you were editing away.
I was chip chip chop.
And you put in that weird feedback noise.
Oh yes, I had to do that every time like a large chunk of audio was really bad, and I had to cut that whole thing. But these are better times now. We're at
better
episode
days.
0228. We
Nine.
got it wrong last week. It's actually 28 now.
God damn it.
Yeah, I know.
What is wrong with us?
What? Because we're so good. Like we can't.
But you didn't. I thought it was 227A was the one we messed up on, and then 228 was right after that. So this is 229.
Well, for us technically, because as far as how many times we've sat in this room, yes. But I'm not gonna trash an episode and then not number that.
Well,
Not
when
get
you
rid of
put
that
it that
number.
way,
Yeah.
the Lost Adam only episode,
Yes.
where he talks to himself to an invisible man.
That's 227A, I think, whatever. It doesn't matter. But what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to continue this magnificent journey we've been on.
Oh,
we are
yeah.
almost there, by the way.
We are-
We've got about 3 more episodes of these left.
I know.
And,
Can't wait.
We are going to be talking about our top 100 best albums of all time. And I must please excuse me at the top of the show right now. I'm dealing with springtime pollen issues.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so I'm a little nasally and I might sneeze here and there. So
Oh, good.
I'm trying to.
As long as you're not sick.
No,
That's all I care
just,
about.
I'm just very congested. Your wife gave me a Claritin.
Last time you got sick in this room, then I was sick for 2 days.
Well, we
3
also
days.
sat in this room for 5 hours.
4 days, yes. My wife was only sick for 1 day, but
Oh,
hopefully
fun.
it was just allergies.
Yes.
But don't give me your dirty Jew allergies, thank you.
Oh, I learned a lot about
where's
you
my
right now.
Claritin?
So
what's the mold spore pollen content today, everybody? I don't know.
Sorry.
Racism.
Racism.
Adam's a Nazi now. But we have a lot to talk about this week, so we're just gonna get right into it. We have some podcast friends at Shit Rick Says over at shitricksays.com.
Congrats on your sobriety, Mr. Norman.
Yeah, he actually told me that a couple months ago.
Ooh.
But he asked me to keep it quiet because he
Oh.
wasn't ready to talk about it yet. But yeah,
Well,
good
shit.
for him. Keep it up, buddy.
I'm glad that you didn't do the whole like, well, I'm an atheist, so obviously I can't go to AA ever, because that's not true.
He did that before his first attempt.
A lot of people just continue drinking because they're like, well, I can't ever quit because I'm an atheist.
Right.
And the only way to quit is through Jesus, so I guess I'm dead.
Damn it! I guess we're all dead now.
So I'm glad that he found a way.
And you can also check out the rest of our friends at themeltingpod.net. If they put an episode out, we'll plug them.
Meh.
But but I also wanted, before we get into the feed really quick, really exciting news because we had some fan feedback this past week.
I'm excited.
So I want to share both of those with you. Longtime listener of the show, he goes by the name DSD. His name's Daniel. He commented on last week's episode. Awesome episode, guys.
Woo.
I decided to make my own top 20
Yes.
albums list.
I really hope that we would inspire others to do this because we've been wanting to do something like this for like 10 years.
Oh yeah, it's such a good feeling once that list is solidified, and that's why we love doing this, because like not because we want to inspire people, but it feels good to like let these albums out because they mean so much.
If
to
you
us.
listen to music as much as we do, you should rank them in order of likes.
Like an OCD person naturally
Exactly. But he said he couldn't do 100, right?
would. Right, because top 100 would probably kill me.
Yes.
It's okay. It almost killed us.
It really did. Like, I really, like, the suicidal thoughts as I was finishing it we're kind of there.
Oh
Like,
my.
well, what's the point of going on at this point? There's nothing that is worth living for anymore.
And as
Maybe
far as
my child,
Adam's
I don't know.
rankings now, we'll get to there very soon later in the episode. I know there will be like no overlap, but there is one album on my top 10 that could also be on Mike's top 10.
Ooh.
But we'll see.
Not hybrid theory.
The only thing I vehemently disagree with was said on this episode is that Mike said that "Say Hello to Sunshine" by Finch was a disappointing follow-up to "What It Is to Burn." I think it's actually miles better than "What It Is to Burn." But hey, opinions and all that. That's cool,
He
man.
thinks it's miles better?
It's a typo, but
Oh,
miles
miles
better
better.
than
Okay.
"What It Is to Burn."
Well, I have not listened to "Say Hello to Sunshine" in quite a number of years, so
Uh-huh.
I can't really like judge it accordingly.
Yes,
But "What It Is to Burn" did not end up in my top 100,
right.
so I wouldn't imagine "Say Hello" would. But
So what
there's
you're
still
trying
some
to
good
say
songs.
is Shomo Dance is your new best friend. I understand. I will show myself out.
Goodbye.
Bye, Adam. But no, he's actually not the first time I've heard that opinion. I've heard that opinion. There's a lot of defenders of "Say
Yes.
Hello to Sunshine," and that's cool. That's perfectly cool.
Well,
man.
we'll
I'm
drive
glad-
right down to Temecula. It's only
Yep.
10 miles away where
Well,
Finch is from.
We'll go ask Nate what's his last
Yes.
name. Like, hey man, we think your second album is garbage, but some people think it's great. Do you have some thoughts on that?
We'll meet him at the Wetzel's Pretzels
Yeah.
on the bottom floor of the Promenade Mall.
Okay.
And we'll ask him this question: which album is better,
Oh, definitively.
definitively?
Yeah.
And we'll
And
see
what do you
if
think
he
of
shows
Buddy
up, but he
and what
might
do you-
not show up.
And what do you think of Buddy Nielsen taking your job?
Oh,
How does that make you feel? But we also got a private message this past week. Very
Private.
cool. His first name is Brandon. I won't say his last name just for
is he
privacy's sake.
Our friend, our old friend, Brandon?
No,
Wait, that's
this-
Brendan.
This is a guy that we've never met before.
Oh, okay. This is a Brandon.
But now we have, because he reached out to the show.
Sweet.
Hey guys, I couldn't find an email, so I decided to message you on here. Just wanted to encourage you guys to keep it up.
Ooh.
I love the show, and I love listening to your guys' thoughts on new music and the year in reviews.
Ooh, okay.
My only problems with your opinions, my only problems were with your
Suck. Oh, sorry.
my only problems were with your opinions on The Color Morale and Vanna, two of my favorite bands.
Well, hey, I mean, Vanna had a really good album last year.
Yeah, and on that, like Vanna, great band, very interesting sound. All Hell is a great album.
Many revolutions of people. But-
Curses, I think, is a really good album. The I can't remember the album name, but the album after Curses I really enjoyed as well. And their debut EP is one of the most unique EPs I've ever listened to.
We just really didn't like Void.
Void
That
is
was the main one.
Void is woo.
Yeah, and
All right.
They Come Bearing Bones was also kind of rough.
Woo!
But anyway,
But outside of
Color Morale, we can't change too much of our opinion on
yeah,
it.
but like outside of like the character that I play on this show, like The Color Morale is an all right band. It's just that the songwriting is a little too much for me. It kind of overwhelms the overall. On top of all the like good musicianship and everything else that band does, like the messaging that comes through there it's a little too intense.
Right.
Yeah.
And, we've already mentioned that enough. And also
Yeah.
the fact that they're Packers fans
Yeah,
drives me up the wall. And the fact that...
So now that I'm back being the character that I play on the show, fuck that band. I'm just kidding.
fuck the Packers!
But I can live with it. Haha. But yeah, my all-time favorite bands are Thrice, Seosin, and My American Heart. Also, a lot of your
My
guys'
American
favorite
Heart.
bands are some I love too. Sorry for the long message, but great show, guys.
Cool.
So we go on to message back and forth, and he even says that, like, well, after you guys are done with your top 100, I'd like to send you guys some requests.
Ooh, okay.
For some albums that maybe we haven't listened to, but he wants for us to finish the 100 first to see if we aren't going to talk about them.
All right.
first.
Cool.
So
I'm
that's
excited.
really cool. So
So
you
what,
guys-
My American Heart, have you heard of them?
I heard of them. I am not familiar with their music. So,
Okay.
Our new friend Brandon here can vouch for them. So I think that's another band we'll have to check out in the near future.
Thank you, sir. We
So-
appreciate it. That will mean we've garnered 2 people to email us
Ooh, there we
in
go.
the past 4 3/4 years.
But in all seriousness, though, we'd love if you guys wanted to reach out to us. You can reach out to us on any number of venues. You can Facebook message us. You can tweet us at the Skinny Pod. You can give us a YouTube message at the Skinny Official. Well, every episode will be posted there every Monday.
Do we have a an email?
We do have an email.
A Hotmail account?
Yeah, well, we have a Gmail account.
Oh, Gmail.
It's just the skinny at Mike and Adam at gmail.com. So I also sent Brandon our email address as well. So if you guys want to reach out to us in any way possible, you can even like critique us or ask, tell us if our opinions are wrong or anything. We'll read them on the show. And, we'd love to hear back from you guys, whether it's, a positive thing, a negative thing. Like, we'll listen to it all. It's cool. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get on with the show with the feed.
Okay.
All right, so we'll try to blow through these really quick because we got a long show ahead of us still. But we got some new album announcements this week. Emery, which Adam did a full discography review on several months ago.
To the recommendation of DSD.
DSD, that's right. Speaking of DSD,
very good band.
They announced this past week that they had launched an Indiegogo campaign to fund their new LP. And what do you know? 3 days after they launched it, it was fully funded.
Nice.
Good on them.
Well,
so.
it took Canadian softball a little bit longer.
A little bit.
But at least they got fully funded too. But, were we expecting Emery not to ever make any more music? I doubt it.
I think they actually said that they were probably done not too long ago.
That was Anne Boleyn.
Okay.
Emery never officially
Anne Boleyn
broke
probably
up.
doesn't need to make another album.
That's okay. But Emery, I think my favorite one was their last one, the one that came out in 2015, I believe it was.
Yes, you began to like them more and more as their discography grew.
There was a little too much of the Christian overtone at times, but it worked.
Well, they're a Christian band, and that's something that they're proud of.
I've heard stories.
Yeah, they have a podcast, the Bad Christian Podcast.
Yes.
If you guys want to subscribe to it,
yes, they do.
All right. So a band that we're going to be checking out in a couple weeks
on Warped Tour. Oh wait,
and also on Warped Tour. But we'll get
if
to
we
that
go
later.
this year, we might not.
If we go,
we'd have to figure it out. It's on my list of bets.
Eat a dick, Adam. Eat a dick. But Beartooth announced this past week that the deluxe edition of their 2016 album Aggressive is coming out very soon. It's going to have a full live set DVD as well as 6 bonus tracks. Woo! Some new Beartooth this year.
I'm looking forward to 6 bonus tracks. Now, in the past, we've often mentioned deluxe editions coming out.
We talked about that last
week.
The
deluxe editions usually do not end up in our hands. So I'm just saying, let's probably not forget this one.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Email whatever label they're on.
Yeah.
Epitaph. I'm not sure. And get that press copy.
Yeah. Well, we'll get those. We'll get those. So a new song came out, and we like to talk about this band. Very polarized. It's a very famous band. Episode 50 of our show.
Yes.
But the Falling in Reverse released the next single off of their new album.
Is this album
Coming Home?
Is this album coming out?
April 7th.
Thank you. Okay.
The day after we go.
That's very, very soon.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks from now.
The day after we see Beartooth.
Beartooth, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So they released their latest single called "Broken." And Adam, have you had a chance to listen to this song?
No, as you know, I listened to the first single, and then 7 months go by, and I never listened to another single until I have the album.
Media blackout.
God damn it! We've been listening to these singles for too long.
Yes.
And this is your number 10 album of 2015.
And I must say, wow.
Is it that good?
That's a good song.
Okay.
Wow.
This is like the first one you've said this to.
The last single that they released, I think you listened to that one. And I was like, okay.
It was long and boring.
It's all right.
It sounded like a 30 Seconds to Mars wannabe song.
Right. Exactly. But it was all right, whatever. I'll check it out in 2 weeks. But we might get the press copy very soon. So
let's do it.
We'll check it out when we check it out. But now we have an official release date of the highly anticipated album from this band, A Lot Like Birds. They're going to be releasing, I don't know how to pronounce this, but I'm just going to call it DVC?
I thought it was DIVIS.
S-I.
Oh, there's another I in there?
There's another I. So many I's.
Damn it.
But they're going to be releasing that album. This is their 4th album.
Yes.
On May 5th. Coming up very soon. They released the lead single off of this album called For Shelley. In parentheses, Unheard. It's a story about his mom You
It's
died.
about a woman. Oh,
Woman.
did you read the
I read the
entire 15-page
I did.
type up
I
about
read,
it?
I
Okay.
read the essay, yes.
Man, this band sure knows how to write long posts.
They do.
But
They know how to write.
you know, it's really hard to like not like a song that's about someone's mom who died. You know, but I'm just saying, like, the jury's still out on this one.
Yeah, you're not feeling the new sound?
Well, not yet.
Okay.
But it was my first taste of it.
Yes, and this is outside of the context of the record, of course.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens on May 5th.
And like I said, I'm giving this band one more chance.
Ooh.
And then they're done.
4th time's the charm?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this new direction for this band is just what they need.
We
So
shall see.
we'll see what happens. But big news this past week. We shared this.
The tour of the Warped.
We shared this very early. I think back in January when we said that whether or not we were going to go. But when the announcement came out, when they were going to do the live stream
That's
of
right.
all the bands coming out. But finally, Warped Tour has announced all of the dates and all of the bands that you can expect to see this summer. So we got 2 dates to go to check out. We can check out either the August 5th date, which is a Saturday at
Right.
San Diego, or the August 6th date, which is Pomona, which is strange because Pomona usually launches.
First, but
No,
not
it's
last
last.
year.
Yeah,
last year it was in August.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, we
So-
got a little stoked by some of the bands.
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting to, be excited about any of these bands coming out, but much to my shock, there's a lot of stuff I want to see. So anything that strikes your fancy right away.
Andy Black.
Beartooth.
Beartooth, of course. But hey, Andy Black without Black Veil Brides.
Yeah.
Black Veil Brides are going to have a new album this year.
Ah,
And he's
interesting.
touring solo. But
Band
at least
drama.
all of the girls will be at that tent.
Yes.
And there'll be plenty of room at the Beartooth tent for us.
Yeah. So we saw this band late last year. Being as an Ocean will be there. Blessed to Fall
Again, every other year.
every other year.
We saw them in 2012.
They have an album due this year.
2015.
They just had their stuff stolen for the third time.
I know. Damn it. They just got their stuff stolen.
I remember
The
making
third
this,
time? Really?
I remember making this comment a long time ago that I didn't think this band would ever be on Warped Tour because it's not their scene.
Right.
Dance, Gavin, dance.
Dance, Gavin,
is gonna
motherfucking
be
dance.
on Warped Tour.
It's going to be on Warped Tour for the entire summer.
So excited!
How
about
is this
that.
even possible?
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love that.
So that will bring a big crowd probably because they
Oh,
got
yeah.
a big following out
So
here.
this is the most interesting thing, the most thing that stands out the most. But Gwar,
Ooh.
shock metal band Gwar,
I didn't even see that.
is going to be at Warped Tour this year.
This is why no more free tickets for parents.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I think that's going to be worth seeing just for the spectacle of it.
Well, I don't mind passing on it.
Yeah.
So I've heard about their fans.
I heard about
And-
their fans too, but I don't think their fans are going to be there, quote unquote.
Oh, their fans will be there.
You think so?
They will follow this band.
Oh no!
Every inch. Wait, didn't their lead singer die recently? Or like a couple years ago or something?
Somebody died. We shared that on the show.
That's right. Why? We'll never know.
Old punk classic Goldfinger will be there.
Dawn's favorite band.
Oh, she can join us.
She
She
doesn't
won't.
like them except for their first album.
Hands
She's-
Like Houses will be there.
I think if we can try to interview somebody, we should interview them and ask them why
Their
we
album
love
is better than Septernal. Okay.
that and why their albums are so good yet you can't sing a song.
Okay, so
Sing
we're
a-
gonna
sing a
ask
Hands
them
Like
a
Houses song.
backhanded compliment. Okay. Speaking of backhanded compliments, Hawthorne Heights will be there.
Our favorite backhand compliment band.
100th will be there, which is the last time we went to Warped Tour. We saw them.
Yep, we did.
Movements will
Movements. This is
be there.
great.
That is awesome news.
This is the Corey Wells' former band.
Yeah.
And really good EP. So we'll see what more comes from them in the near future.
Adam's future wife from
she's
New
there.
Year's Day will be there.
She will be there. And I will be remarried.
Exactly.
Come August 6th.
Adam will have 2 wives.
Yes.
Our Last Night will be there.
I'm so excited because last time in 2015, when I saw Ash Costello across the airport hangar,
Yes.
when we were in the press area,
Still
I
with
didn't,
her half red hair, half black hair.
I didn't know her name. I
Yes.
just knew she was the New Year's Day girl.
She was that
And I
pretty
said,
girl from New Year's Day.
I'm gonna listen to that band. And I'm gonna marry that woman.
2 years from now.
At least.
Silverstein will be there. Longtime favorite of
Well,
ours.
it's been every other year for them.
So, yeah, sounds like clockwork there. Let's see what we get. Now we're in the Thus. The Ataris is coming back, so
The
good on
Ataris.
them. Let's
We
see.
saw them briefly in 2015. No,
And,
2013.
And you may remember this band from Adam's top 10 albums of last year, Trophy Eyes.
Yes.
Good fun.
I'm so excited to see Trophy Eyes.
An exciting lineup, and of course, there's gonna be dozens more of bands we never even heard of. So, and I guess we're gonna be checking out this band because our tattoo artist recommended them, Stray Light Manifesto.
Except I think they're only playing one date,
Never mind.
and it's in June.
Never mind.
But I should still listen to them, even though they're ska.
Yeah.
But hey, Trophy Eyes and their award-winning documentary.
Yes. much emulated documentary coming soon.
So here's what I go out on tour with the band, and then I come home and I go to work, and then hopefully someday I could just go on tour with the band all the time. When we wrote "Come Miracle Miracle," this is all right. You know, we wrote a lot of songs. I didn't write a lot of it, but I wrote some of it.
So we're not going to cut any of this footage, huh? All of it's going in? All right.
All 16 minutes. It's picture-wise, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Tons of landscape shots of American scenery.
Slow-mo walking shots.
So many slow-mo. And one of the fat guy
Yeah.
doing some exercises backstage. Slow motion.
That's just
He's
what I need.
Kicking his leg up and down slowly.
I mean, that's what you need in a band documentary, really.
And if you're getting interviewed for a documentary, I believe you should sit next to a fish tank. Not a big, like, beautiful one, but like a little tiny one
the single fish
that's
inside.
still dirty.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to clean this thing, but now I have to sit for this interview.
I know.
Press for time.
Oh, God. Anyway, it's the greatest of all
But
time.
yeah, Warped Tour sounds like it's going to be a great fun this year. But we're going to go apply for press this coming April.
What's great is that I don't see any bands that, like, stupidly have a huge fan base. Like a Falling in Reverse or Sleeping with Sirens.
Except for Guar.
Probably them. But when you look at, like, all the other bands, like, there's no one band that's going to have...
band.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
just too many people there
Right.
to see them. Except
Good
Dance
point.
Gavin Dance, because they can sure sell out a crowd here. But
Absolutely, yes. They're a crowd favorite here in California.
damn tootin'.
But
Could've-
but regardless, it's going to be an exciting time, and I can't
or
wait.
will it?
Yes, it absolutely will be.
We'll see.
Definitive.
We will see.
Free tickets.
I'd love to go and be pressed for this thing.
Exactly.
But-
so we'll talk in private about the bands we want to try to apply to get interviews for.
Kevin Lehman is so fat
He is.
now. He, like, ate himself.
He's every year the new Kevin Lehman eats the old Kevin Lehman. So he just gets bigger and bigger.
I know. It's kind
This
of
isn't
sad.
helping us get pressed for this year's Warped Tour. But so let's go ahead and move on to the meat of this week's episode. We're going to talk about our top 39 and or 40 to 21.
Yes.
Long time coming, guys. So we are rounding down to the end of our kind of our batch discussions of our top 100. Next week and the week after, we're going to talk about each band, since that's going to be the top 20.
One by one. Hopefully there will be no news to talk about, and we can just jump right into this.
Absolutely. So I'll go ahead and start this week because
Ooh.
Adam, he did his number 40 last week.
Yes.
So if you don't know, we're going to be talking about these kind of the way we do our honorable mentions at the end of the year. We're going to go through a handful of them, and then we're going to highlight an album at our 40, 35.
Every fifth album.
Every fifth album, correct. But instead, we're a little bit different because Adam did his number 40 last week.
We don't need to explain it. Just go.
No, okay, that's what I'm trying to do. But I also wanted to say that every album that you're going to talk about from here on out got a perfect score.
Perfect score. So today will be the worst of the best.
The worst of the best. I love it.
Because most of these albums, especially the first 10 I'm going to talk about, do have their flaws, even
Okay.
though I do enjoy every single song on it.
Adam's quote of a lifetime: "All songs are
All
equal,
albums are created equal.
but some albums are more equal than others."
2 guitars good. 4 guitars better.
Very good. Okay, so I'll go ahead and
They
start.
taught
then.
communism to a bunch of ninth graders.
Yes,
They
I
turned
get
us
it.
all communist.
You get it? Stalin.
Through animals.
Stalin.
120 pages. You can read that in an hour. Anyway, go ahead.
My number 40 is an album. It came out during a very tough time in my life,
Darkness.
and it's not so much, but I guess my life. It came out during a time when I was feeling alone, and I was down on the concept of love, and I was unsure of whether or not I would ever find love again.
So this was somewhere between November 2014 and May 2015, or January 2016 to September 2016.
You decide, but you'll figure it out right away. But
course.
so this album came out around the time, and it was full of. It was Hanson's Bob. Yeah, it was full of a lot of songs, about that very concept, about love and about how much you care for someone and how devoted you would be to somebody. One would even say it's a half-hour love letter to his wife. This is the third solo record by Dustin Kensrue, lead singer of Thrice. This is his album Carry the Fire.
Carry the Fire, your number 40 album.
Number 40. Love this album to death.
This was-
Every single song in this album is so powerful. Some are more powerful than others.
Some talk about walking with chemo bags down hallways.
Yeah, and
That's
it
scary.
it breaks your heart in the most beautiful way possible. The devotion that comes through in these songs, and it's a song that can invigorate you when you're feeling down, and when you're feeling like you're not gonna ever feel this kind of love and devotion ever again.
There you go.
It's a good reminder of.
That Dustin Kensrue is a better man than us.
It's a good reminder that Dustin Kensrue loves you.
Yes, and we want him to be our father.
Our autistic father.
Slash take over and be a better husband than us.
Yes. He's going to take away all of our wives.
Because there's me, then there's Mike on the scale of who's a better husband.
Sure.
Like it goes Dustin Kensrue number one.
Number one, of
Then
course.
Mike, and then me.
Right.
And then everybody else.
We're the best guys, I'm sorry. It's a high bar for you guys to climb.
I don't know if I don't know if I could ever reach this level of creating art out of love. Because,
You got to have a lot of love inside of you to be able to just... So candidly, too. Just let the whole world know that I love this woman. I am devoted to this woman. I cherish this woman. This is the woman of my dreams, the mother of my children.
Or is it just about Jesus?
How I'm going to carry Jesus' chemo bags
Yes.
down the hall.
Because remember, his last one was all about Jesus.
It was a worship album, yes.
Yes, and this one, it might still be about Jesus. He just wrote it so that nobody would know. And it's like, see, you think I'm talking about my wife, but it's just tricking you all into loving Jesus with me.
Yeah. Well, if this is all about Jesus, then I'm in love with Jesus too.
God damn, Jesus is a great man slash woman.
And he's hot, pretty hot.
Very hot, and raising his children with him.
As he raises all of our children, maybe Catholicism. Yay, hooray!
Yes.
My number 40 album,
Number
Carry the
40.
Fire by
Love it.
Dustin Kensrue.
Still a top album.
Mm.
In the 200 realms
It's
for me.
Adam's number 101.
So my number 39, we'll just start right off with that. Because, I applaud you all for giving Jerry Cantrell a shot last time. That was tough. That is quite a monstrous album to ever get through.
Albums.
2 albums. Where am I going here? It's so hard to look at my goddamn thing without... So this album I don't have a story behind, other than Mike talked about this band, and I said, hey, I think that I might like that band too. And Mike said, here's some albums. And I said, oh, this first album's terrible. This will definitely never, ever be in my top 100 albums of all time. But then, some years later, it was.
Oh.
But then, album number 2 came out.
Oh, my.
And I originally said, I didn't have to wait for this one to be better. But it was better on at the beginning.
Okay.
So the first perfect album, the worst of the
Of
best.
the best.
Number 39.
The anti one. Oh, My goodness.
So,
This is the story of the year.
yes.
The In the Wake of Determination.
There you go.
That's the one. Nice.
So, Madonna's favorite metalcore band,
Yep.
pop punk-ish band. Yeah, holy cow. Like, I wasn't even expecting this album to be on my radar when I went through it again.
Yes.
And
You initially dismissed this band when they first came out.
I did, but that was just with Page Avenue.
Right.
And then when I first listened to this one, I was like, oh, they're doing something right here.
Much more aggressive than Page Avenue.
Yes, much more metal, much more screaming.
Yeah.
But
A lot of classic metal influences too, especially the final track. Is This My Fate, he asked them. A lot of cool little guitar solos in that one. It's really,
yes.
really dope.
So let's just hold out until the chorus comes in, or
Yes.
the bridge of this song. Because, you're listening to this and you're just like, maybe I could give this a pass. It's kind of a boring chorus in a way. But, then it just has all these ebbs and flows. And what the hell happened to this band's, popularity after this album?
Well, they got dropped from
Maverick.
Records, and then they got picked up by Epitaph, who of course doesn't have the financial backing of Maverick
True.
Records, so they can't get on those giant tours. But they kind of toned down their sound a little bit with the Black Swan and
Yes.
the album after the Black Swan, whichever that was
The
called.
Constant.
The Constant, yes. And then they went
2010.
silent, but they were still touring.
Forever.
Forever and ever.
They took a break and said, we're not a band anymore. And
Well, we're technically a band, but we're going to write music when we feel like writing music because we have homes and jobs and things.
and children ruin everything.
Maverick Records ain't paying the bills anymore.
Man.
But yeah, this just recently it was
So
a great bridge.
it's got that early aughts thing. It sounds like the early aughts.
Trapped.
It sounds like Trapped. If I had ever listened to Trapped, I can imagine it sounds like that. This was from 2006, I believe?
5.
5. That's what I got here.
Yep.
13 out of 13. Great album.
I love this album. Man. This is an album I haven't revisited in a while. But it's pretty dope. I love it.
Pretty dope.
All right, so let's go through my next batch before we get to my number 35. So, the follow-up album to this band is my number 39, and to this band's breakthrough debut album that was a monster hit, kind of revitalized the emo scene,
Yes.
and that would be Where You Want to Be by Taking Back Sunday.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking Hawthorne Heights.
No.
That's not right. Because their second album is like a sentence.
It is, yes. In the Silence of Black and White, I think it's called. Their first album.
I was saying their second album.
Oh, If Only You Were Lonely.
You Were Lonely.
Yeah.
God. Keep it short and succinct, guys.
Number 38, again, another follow-up to this artist's debut album. Debut album's there's 3 good songs on it, in my opinion. But this new one went into cool, more aggressive direction, and also she became a much better singer after this.
Ooh, she.
Siberia.
Not
Avril Lights.
Avril Lavigne. Her second album. I've heard it was good. I never listened to it. No.
Yeah, Siberia by Lights, my favorite pop artist.
I'm almost surprised that's not higher on your list.
Again, a lot of the things really confuse me. But then in my head it's no, this is just semantics. These are all great. Shut up.
I'm thinking with my penis.
Speaking of which, speaking with my music penis.
Yes.
This is the very first mention of this band, not the last. Number 37, Handwritten.
Ooh.
By the Gaslight Anthem.
Wow. Number 38? Are you kidding me?
7. Calm down.
Having a panic attack. Hold on, guys. I'm in a safe place.
We're gonna take a break really quick. Okay. Here's a commercial. Number 37. Fantastic fucking record, man.
Always fantastic. How could I even say it's not?
Of course, this album's not going to get brought up again. I'm
sure. Wherever could it be on my
Never.
list? I don't know where it is.
I cut some points off because of the Nirvana cover at the end.
Oh, those don't count.
I know they
you
don't
throw
count.
out the freaking cover songs.
We have that discussion.
Especially when they're bad.
Only when they're good we can keep them
When they're good, you leave them in.
My number 36 is this band's for sure best album they've ever written, and which is strange considering, that this is the only album with this band not featuring the original lead singer. That would be one Illuminatio
Ooh.
by Chiodos.
Chiodos, yes.
Of where are they from? Ohio?
They're from Michigan.
Michigan, that's right. Fantastic fucking record.
Fucking tastic.
Yeah, that band's...
This was like my introduction into you.
Yeah.
Wait. When I finally branched out of my just AFI Rise Against loop in 2011, you
There's
gave
some
me
bands
Chiodos.
you haven't even heard of.
Yeah. And like Illuminatio was the first one you gave me. Luckily, jumping into the third album helped.
Right.
And then because you were like, you don't need to hear those old Craig Owens ones; those don't count anymore. But
this is the band's future.
Yeah, but
they're gonna keep this lineup forever and ever.
And they're gonna keep playing all these songs forever and ever.
They finally got it right. Number 35 for me. This I would argue is this band's best record they've ever written. Is it my favorite? Maybe we'll talk about
Time
it
will
later.
tell.
Time will tell. But this is for sure this band's best record they've ever written.
So this is the best record, but it's not your favorite.
Not my favorite.
Interesting.
Mm.
That's a difficult place to be, but I do understand.
Yeah. So right away, Adam will recognize it. We talked about this band 2 weeks ago. Originally.
Yes.
This is the 2013 masterpiece, Renaissance.
Quite
Senses Fail.
Quite the
We're
good
listening
album.
to the song Mi Amor right now, which is about 90% in Spanish.
Yes.
Which is a really cool little concept for a song. It's a completely punk, hardcore, aggressive love song, sung mostly in Spanish. It's really neat.
It's a great idea.
It's a cool idea, and it's executed really well. I like it.
This was my number 8 album of
2013,
which was great. Oddly enough, when I re-listened to our review of Pull the Thorns from Your Heart,
Yep.
I said on there that I didn't like Renaissance very much on re-listen, but then on re-listen,
The Doc Brown Part 2. Right?
it is where it needs to be.
Yeah.
We'll just put it that way.
It's this is the first time this is a good follow-up to 2012's Follow Your Bliss, which was also on my 100 list.
And The Fire.
And The Fire, yeah. Because this is the first time, at least in a full-length record, this band, at least Buddy Nielsen, has completely changed his songwriting style. And by that I mean his perspective has completely changed from dark and depressing and somewhat suicidal to a new perspective on life moving
more than
forward.
somewhat. Well, I would say more than somewhat back in those early days.
Yeah, pretty much. But now his life's about positivity and moving forward and healing and self-love and giving love to your friends and your loved ones.
Well, and on Facebook he said the band is stronger than ever right now.
Because it's all new members.
It's all new members. Finally get to do it right.
We finally get it right.
Kind of surprised that they weren't on Warped Tour this year, but that's okay.
They probably have a record to write, that's why.
That might be why. Hey,
Yeah.
Pierce the Veil had a record to write, but they still went on Warped Tour. And damn it worked for them.
Well, we got
says 50% of us.
And we got really wet. We got sprayed with water guns during the set.
Oh, I was saying in 2015 when Vic was there and the little girls ran
that's right.
after him.
Well, those little girls got wet as well.
Oh yeah,
In their
they were
pants.
so wet.
You could just see the trail,
But
all
Renaissance, let's keep focused on this.
It's okay.
I totally understand this being your number 35 album
Yep.
of all time.
Great album. I love it.
It's in
Listen
my
to it if you have. I think it's also a good album to just jump right into. I feel like if you've never heard of the band before.
Sure.
Because it's a good standalone record. But if you want to get the good history of the band, follow it chronologically because you'll hear the whole story of Buddy Nielsen and his fucked up mind.
Yes.
Quite fucked up.
The more fucked up, the better.
Mm.
So my number 38 album, a little band that's no longer with us. I mean, I guess they're kind of with us, even though the lead singer is having a problem with being dead.
Oh.
But 1994's Purple by Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh. Nice.
This was an album that I did not own until about 2008. When I finally had somebody who could get me press copies of music.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to listen to me some Stone Temple Pilots because I'd only heard their first album at that point and stayed away from all their other stuff. So, but Purple is just like grunge to the grunge.
Grunge at the top of its powers.
Yeah. You can tell that they were definitely trying something different by
Right at the height of grunge too. 94 is like right when
94.
grunge was everywhere,
Yes.
even in the culture.
It had like permeated into everything.
Yeah.
It started in 91. By 94, it was just like record labels were like, no, this is the only music that's going to be played right now.
Yep.
But Purple is a really good album all the way through. It's kind of weird. You can tell they're trying to break out of the mold of all the other grunge-ish bands at the time. So there's some experimental stuff on there, but some really good songs.
Nice.
Big Empty, of course. Vaseline was on that album.
Everyone knows that song.
But yeah, Big Empty. Time to take a ride. She leaves today.
I wonder what Scott Weiland's up to nowadays.
I wonder what Brandon Lee is up to. He was in the video for that song. Anyway, my number 37 album. So this one was another one of my worst of the bests because it just recently became a perfect album.
Oh.
Like back when we did our... Actually, not even that long ago. Like basically in December, this became a perfect album.
Wow.
The album Mike and I have talked at length about, but Kintsugi
Kintsugi.
by Death Cab for Cutie.
Their most recent album, 2015.
2015's perfect album. I mean, even on re-listening to Ingenue, which was the only song that I had a problem with, it's so tragic.
It's
when you really hear the lyrics.
He really misses his ex-wife, Zooey Deschanel.
I do too.
Don't we all?
But still, good album all the way through. You haven't mentioned this one yet, have you? Like, it hasn't been in your top 35, or in your bottom 35. Okay, just saying.
I'm shrugging my shoulders.
My number
ironically
36 album. Another band that I said, "Hey Mike, give me this," and he said, "Here's all 7 of their albums, so enjoy."
Yep, that's how I roll, baby.
But my favorite album, probably by far, would be from Saves the Day.
Oh,
the perfect album that is Sound the Alarm.
Oh wow!
I don't remember giving this a perfect score back when I reviewed it years ago.
I don't remember you having a rough time with this band too.
I did because it took forever. But when I know when I got to Sound the Alarm, I was like, oh, okay, finally I'm getting this. And then I took a break from that band for probably like 3 years now. Because I remember listening to it when my daughter was like a baby.
Ooh.
So listening to it now, I listened to it like 3 times just to make sure that I liked every single song on it. But yeah, that band like wasn't anything like this album prior and wasn't anything like this album after.
Yeah.
So it's really a weird snapshot of who they are.
Neato.
So check that one out. 35. Nostalgia.
Nostalgia core.
Over my top 39 albums, I counted up 8 that are nostalgia albums.
Okay.
So everything else is from this era.
Okay.
So let me set the picture for you. It's June 1994.
Ooh.
Adam just saved up $120 to buy a portable CD Walkman.
Ooh.
That plays...
How many seconds of anti-skip did it have?
It had 5.
5 seconds of anti-skip?
So I bought that CD player after mowing lawns for like several weeks.
Damn, son.
And actually, I think I only had $100, but I didn't know there'd be tax on it.
Oh.
So like my mom had to help me out with the rest of it.
Here's
But
$7.
I also had bought this album, which was the first album, the first real album. I'm not going to count Weird Al Yankovic as being like a real album.
Okay.
Like this was the first real music album that I ever bought.
It was
and
done in earnest.
Yes. I was 13. Now granted, this was 1994. This album came out in 1992.
Okay.
I was really on the cutting edge in middle school. With
striking while the iron is hot.
And I would hear my friends, I mean, my co-students,
your peers,
sing tracks from this album, throughout my middle school and be like, oh, who is that band? That sounds really good. And they were like, oh, it's called this. You should check them out. Uh-huh. They didn't say that to me. They said, ew, get away, fatty. But in the back of my mind, I said,
ew, 5-second skip CD player, get away from me, you poor white trash.
So I bought this album. I went home and I put it on my CD player at home because I knew I only had the 5 seconds of skip. But
you can't keep still for that long.
I hit play, and this is what came out. Now, I'd never heard this song prior to putting the CD on, and I could vividly remember sitting in my room being like, what the hell's going on? What is this the right band?
This is broken. There's no... Oh, there's the...
And then, boom, my brain exploded. It was one of those, like, like just moments in your life where you know music became you.
Has changed you.
I had never heard anything grunge because again, 1994, I was way behind.
Yeah.
Busy listening to Weird Al Yankovic,
Real music.
and this was the first real band.
Core by
STP, the Stone Temple Pilots, because I had heard "Creep" sung by many a people.
Yep.
People would walk around my middle school singing "I'm Half the Man I Used to Be," and I was just like, I want to hear that song. And I think I heard it on the radio once, and I was like, oh yes, I believe I would enjoy that. And now, how many years later? 23 years later, I still love every single song on this album.
You really never heard Dead and Bloated on the radio?
I had never heard it on the radio. I'd only heard "Creep" on the radio.
Oh, okay.
But I wasn't like listening to the radio at the time. You got to remember this. I was way behind. Purple had already come out.
Yeah.
By the time I got around to this album.
Yeah. So then by then everyone's seeing Vaseline at that point.
Yes. And I kept on thinking like everybody's talking about this Vaseline song, but it's not on this album.
Yeah.
So I went back and forth on this album for the last 23 years.
Yeah.
I would get really into it, and then I put it away, and then I get really into it, and put it away. And I remember listening to it, walking home from summer school when I was going into 9th grade, listening to this album on my skipping Walkman.
Yep. It's still good. It skips, but it's still good.
And I was like,
It
well,
works.
maybe this is just how you're supposed to listen to music. Like, I had no idea that...
It's good to give your ears a break every few seconds.
Because I put it in my backpack to start, and I wondered why it was still doing that.
Yeah.
So then I would have to just hold it on my hand, on the palm of my hand. Like, this is great! I love music!
Oh no, pothole! Ah!
So, still so sad that Scott is no longer with us.
Yeah.
I saw this band numerous times live throughout the 90s and on up, and they've always played this song, and I always loved it.
Stay tuned to KCal Rocks.
KCal Rocks.
For all of your STP needs.
So there's a lot of good non-singles on there, too.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to get stuck on just singles.
Right. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, we love those nostalgic core stuff, and that's a great
Yes.
story that you shared with us as well. All right, so moving on. Okay, I thought she was calling us. All right, number 34. I just listened to this album today because I was just having a craving for it.
Nice.
This is this band's latest album. That doesn't mean it's a recent album, though, unfortunately. This lead singer has gone on and do many other projects, but this is his last album for Dashboard Confessionals.
Aha.
Alter the Ending.
That was way back in my...
2009.
What number was that for me?
Oh, that was a couple weeks ago. So in the 80s?
Just keep talking about
Probably.
I'll find it.
But yeah, this is everything that Dashboard Confessional has led up to this moment. And the weird thing is that if you buy the special edition of this album, it comes with an all-acoustic version, which Chris Carrabba says is the definitive version of this album. And I don't want to argue with the creator of this music, but
I will argue.
I disagree, sir.
The full band sound is better.
Amazing.
Yes.
These
If you
songs
wanna-
are great.
If you want to just chill out and try to fall asleep, listen to the acoustic side.
Sure.
But no, this was my number 62 album
Ooh,
of all time.
very cool.
It moved up on re-listen. It's an incredible album.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Chris Carrabba get along not so great majority of the time, but man, when he does it right, he does it right.
She sure does.
Right.
Tune in later for more Chris Carrabba talk.
Right.
Let's see. So, this is the first mention of this band for me. Not for you. You talked about this band already. But Metallica
Saint Anger.
with the masterpiece Saint Anger, 2013's Hollow Bodies by Blessed the Fall. Controversial. Adam seems to not enjoy this album.
Sometimes it gets, dare I say, too metal.
Too metal.
But would you call this a perfect album, in your opinion? Or is it not quite there?
It gets a little slowish in the middle.
Yes.
But I'm
sure
talking
does. I forgot about that.
But I'm talking like it's surrounded by A+ songs and it's
As
an
a
A-.
Okay.
You know? But,
All right.
wow, fantastic record. I can listen to the songs.
Good
over and
songs,
again.
not enough to make my list.
And
but
it's, the first, what do you call it? The first song starts off great. It's an amazing 5-minute opener that just breezes on by. And it ends with a lovely husband and wife ballad
7
which 7-minute husband and wife ballad in which Bo Boken's wife Lights, who I just talked about not too long ago, joins him in the song. It's wonderful.
Nice.
Number 32 was this band's latest album until 2016 came along. That is Major/Minor.
Ooh,
by
yes.
Thrice.
Lots of mentions of that band on your list, isn't it?
Stay tuned.
More to come, perhaps. But yeah,
Perhaps,
Major
maybe.
Minor is great.
Yeah.
It's in my top 200, but not in my top 100.
Fantastic record. Yeah, there's just so many great... Anthology, which is the second to last song in there, is one of the best songs they've ever written.
I know that I don't like Coin Toss. That song's kind of flat.
Is that like in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like track 5, I think.
Okay.
Heads or tails.
Oh, yeah. That song's fine.
No, I can't give it past to that
And it
one.
also starts off really good. Yellow Belly's a great opening track, too.
I think
Really
I
cool, like crunchy kind of guitar that starts off that track.
No. I gave it like an 8 out of 11, I believe.
So, more controversy over here. I really don't understand why Adam does not enjoy this record. This is the debut full-length album from one of our current favorite bands. That would be Dance Gavin Dance.
Ooh.
With Downtown Battle Mountain. Part 1.
Yes. Well, you and I have differing opinions about that one, and I will let you...
Unfortunately, my opinions are correct.
But, no Johnny Craig on my top 100 list.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Mm.
But still, I mean, it's good for what it is if you need to enjoy early Dance Gavin Dance,
Some of their
because
best stuff is on that album, too.
well, you know me. And
Disagree!
later Dance Gavin Dance is generally my favorite.
All right,
But
so
I understand.
number, was it 30?
Numero 30.
Numero Trente. So, back in 2005, everyone was looking forward to... No, I'm sorry. Yes, 5. Everyone was looking forward to the follow-up to this band's masterpiece album that came out in 2003. And people, all eyes were on them. They just got picked up by a major label. They already released an album that was great. And people were thinking, oh, where could they go next? What are they going to do? Are they just going to double down on their sound? And then they made the announcement that no, we're going to change it up a bit.
Change it up. Maybe give it a strange name.
Maybe give it a strange name that even to this day people have trouble pronouncing. But when you pick up that album and you listen to this track for the very first time,
This ain't yo daddy's thrice.
This ain't yo daddy's thrice. This is 2005's Visu.
If you like them in 1999, you're going to hate them in 2005.
Unless you're an open-minded music fan like moi.
Exactly.
You listen to Image of the Invisible, the opening track on this. Holy shit, what an incredible song.
This track was my first introduction to this band.
Wow.
When I saw the video on Fuse back in 2000. I think I saw it in 2007.
The video's weird.
Yes.
It's a weird post-apocalyptic thing where the band is saving kids from an oppressive government. Tepe, the Asian guitarist, kills a man.
Oh my god.
It
Poor
gets
Tepe.
intense.
So, yes, I knew that this would be a band that I would like because of this song,
Yeah.
but it took me some time to figure them out. Even when we saw them with Rise Against, this was the only song of theirs I knew at the time, but they didn't play it, which was sad.
Okay.
So that's the only song I was waiting for them to play.
Okay.
And then after that was when I absorbed their albums.
Yes. And, not only is Image of the Invisible a great song, there are so many other great, cool, progressive rock songs on here. I love The Earth Will Shake, which is this cool prison chain gang chanting kind of song. I love the gang vocal song. Music Box is one of the best songs Dice has ever written. The album ends with the song Red Sky, which, at first it's like, okay, this is kind of a weird way to end the album.
It was the perfect...
It's a great fucking song.
There's nothing wrong with that ending, for sure.
Yeah,
and they played it at that show in 2012, which was totally awesome.
So good, yeah. This is Thrice's best album. For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, definitive now.
Well, we shall see where I stand with what is Thrice's best album. I've already mentioned...
Major Minor. That's the only one I remember you hearing.
I've already mentioned Beggars was number 99.
That's right. And then you said Major Minor.
Visu was in the 80s.
Yes.
Going way back. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, Major Minor was my number 86 album of
Yeah.
all time. What the fuck was I thinking?
Exactly. What's wrong with you?
Beggars was number 98, and Visu was number 82.
Wow.
So, how many more Thrice albums are out there?
Deadbolt.
Anyway,
Got a lot
good
to talk about.
stuff. Cool. So,
All right, man. Give me throw a bunch of awesome albums at me.
so last week I told a lovely story about how I was in love with the band live in the mid '90s.
Right.
And they're not their follow-up to Throwing Copper, but the album after that. The album after Throwing Copper is really bizarre. It's called Secret Samadhi, and Ed took a lot of weird changes with his vocals and his songwriting abilities, and it just didn't work. There was a few songs on there that were good, but man, it was not a good follow-up. So, The Distance to Here came out in 1999.
Oh, okay.
Now, I did not listen to this album until my friend Cameron
Right.
introduced me to it. For some reason, he had it, and he doesn't even know why he had it. But it had the single When Dolphins Cry, which was kind of a big hit for them
Yeah.
in the late 90s.
I remember that song.
I didn't really listen to this album until about 2000, 2001, and man, it was like a second facelift to me and Cameron. This was
Yeah.
like our number 2 favorite album that we would like listen to together
Screaming
in the car.
taking
Yeah.
it a long way.
So it gets a lot more experimental than kind of the straightforward rock sound that Throwing Copper was, but a lot more positive,
Uh-huh.
which is, the band progressively got more positive and a little more preachy as time went by. But this album, straight through, everything is great. The musicianship, the production is phenomenal. But that's The Distance to Here. My number 33 album from a band I already discussed, but probably, definitely my favorite, definitely the best album. I think you would agree with me on this.
Okay.
Even when it comes to their more recent album. But Plans? By Death Cab for Cutie.
Wow.
Now, it's
Great
hard to,
record.
it's hard to tell which is better, Plans, Kintsugi. But even on re-listen, Plans is definitely the, hey, mainstream America, we're a band.
Suck our dick.
Here's a lot of really popular sounding good songs
Yep.
that Adam can't get out of his head.
We're going to
very
make
easily.
you sad.
We're going to make you sad. Oh my God. It's so sad.
Yes.
But still, incredible album all the way through. Soul Meets Body is the big standout track.
Oh, yes.
Probably their most popular song of all time, right?
I'd say so.
All right, cool. My number 32 album, the highest charting album that I have on my list from this band. The underrated, in hindsight,
Saint Anger. Yeah.
Saint Anger. No. Oh, sorry. I was looking at number 31. But Sum 41,
Whoa.
Underclass Hero.
Underclass Hero.
Perfect album.
Wow.
Maybe songs not as good as on Screaming Bloody Murder, but Screaming Bloody Murder threw in 2 shitty songs.
Oh.
Therefore, that album.
All the way down.
But I can listen to Underclass Hero over and over for days. There's a
The
few
album
songs
where they tried to be Green Day.
There's a few songs in there that border on almost not being good.
Okay.
Because it's definitely too long.
Right.
It's 14 tracks.
Yeah.
And there's at least 3 of them in there that I was just like, whew, man. Like, these are okay. But are they, like, passable? And I finally determined, yes, they are passable. So Underclass Hero, apparently my favorite Sum 41 album.
Apparently. We have
of
a new
all
one.
time.
We have a new one now.
My number
Put it in the books.
31 album. A little band that Mike introduced me to said, you don't need to listen to their early stuff, but I did anyway, and I enjoyed it. But their most recent album from 2015, the band we're going to see here in a couple of weeks.
Ooh.
The headliner,
Ooh.
Outdoors, Ollie
Ooh.
Sykes, and Jordan Fisher, and 4 other guys. That's the spirit.
Ow!
Bring me the horizon.
Ow!
So are you happy to see at least one of these albums from this band in my
Suck my dick, Sempiternals all the way in the 80s. Fuck you!
it's in my top 39.
That's fine.
It's my number 31 album of all time.
Sure.
That's the spirit.
Semantics.
Slightly better.
Slightly better.
Ever so slightly. All right.
Well, I'm glad that band at least made it in almost your top 30.
So I feel like this next one, my number 30 album of all time, kind of goes into the nostalgia realm, But I listened to it back when it was new in 2003, and I said, like, oh, that sounds pretty good. And then I gave it back to my coworker, and I never heard this album again until Mike reintroduced me to this band in 2008.
Ooh.
And I listened to all their albums in order, and by the time I got to this one, being that it is number 5 in their discography, I didn't like it.
You did not like
I
it?
didn't like Sing the Sorrow by AFI
Affy. Yeah.
because of what their earlier stuff was.
Okay.
And then
Complete left turn from
Mike-
their old punk days.
Mike and I argued about this from like 2008 through like 2017.
Uh-huh.
And
We're going to
then
argue about this after we hit stop on this episode.
I had no idea, in hindsight, that this was a perfect album
Okay.
until I was making this list.
Ooh.
And every single song is incredibly hooky, incredibly memorable, incredibly good.
Yes.
I'll go with good.
Okay.
But there's always... This is why it's kind of in that worst of the best, right?
Okay. Sure.
Because it's such a departure from where they were. But if I look at this album just for what it is...
You can kind of divide their discographies
Yeah.
right in half. You can kind of...
I can cut it
consider
into
this
fourths.
to be- Sure, yeah. But you can kind of like consider Sing the Sorrow the new age of Affy. And
Right.
you can and everything before that was like just the early days, you know? You can kind of split them up into 2 bands if you want.
But then when you listen to Crash Love a lot, then you're like, well, that one doesn't stand up as much. And then you go back and listen to Sing the Sorrow. You're like, oh, well, yeah, Sing the Sorrow is a much better album. Hence, perfect album.
Sing the Sorrow pisses in Crash Love's drink and makes you drink it.
Yes. So, I don't know what I was thinking at the time. It was just too much of a shocking change. But if you listen to it just for what it is, great songs. There's something missing, but it's fine.
The production? I think the production could... I think this album could really use a re-release.
remastering.
A remastering.
Yeah. Well, the 20-year anniversary is coming up here in 6 years. Maybe they'll do it for that time.
The geriatric tour. 20...
But perfect album, my number 30 of all time. I can still listen to it and enjoy it.
It's great.
AFI.
Yeah, it stands up even to this day. It's really good stuff.
When you kind of take away whatever hype that was there back in 2003,
Lots of hype.
a ton of hype. 103.9 hype.
So much 103.9 hype. All right. So number 29 for me. We are in our top 30s now.
Top 30.
I'm getting nervous and excited.
Slurvis.
I've already pissed myself.
Me too.
Number 29 is this band's debut LP. Lots of excitement for this band because their EP came out. It was self-released and it did really, really well. They got on a Warped Tour because of a self-released album.
Nice.
But then they got picked up by Rise Records and thusly released Your World on Fire by In Fear and Faith.
That's right. Their
My
first full length.
God.
Right? It's
Fucking incredible
It's just
album.
that good. You feel like it?
It is a perfect fucking record.
All right.
Good fucking God.
So now we've entered perfect album realm for Mike. If this is a perfect album,
Yes.
everything else better be a perfect album from here on up.
I'd say everything Visu up.
Visu up, okay.
All right.
Sorry,
Oh,
10 out of 11.
so fucking good.
Of Man and Machines or
You
whatever.
know what
that's-
else is fucking good? Of Man and Machines.
Sorry, of Dust and Nations. Sorry, it's the only track I can't stomach on that one. But anyway,
For Visu?
yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes, you were telling me that the other day. Speaking of fucking good. Oh my God. If Your World on Fire gets you fucking pumped as shit,
I haven't listened to In Fear and Faith in a long time.
then you should listen to Your World on Fire.
I
It's
guess
fucking
I
good.
should. Yes.
If that album gets you fucking pumped as shit, this album gets you, oh my God, I'm so fucking crushed and emotionally sad. Number 28, Elsie
Elsie.
by the horrible
Number
Crows.
28. Are
Fuck
you fucking kidding me?
Yes, where it belongs.
Fuck.
That's like his number 1 album, I'm sure, of all time.
Well, I don't know where it's not even on my list. I don't
Not
know
at
what
all.
time.
Yeah, I thought
28?
Yeah. Semantics, man.
Semantics.
You're arguing
Slightly
semantics.
redder apple, right?
Yeah. we are in the crispiest of red
I know.
apples right now. You know how many albums I've listened to in my entire fucking life?
Yes, thousands. Just look at my iTunes.
You know how much it hurt to put Elsie at 28?
I can imagine every single album, 27 and beyond, hurt like the Dickens.
Number 27 is If Only You Were Lonely by Hawthorne Heights. That is an emo masterpiece.
It really is.
It's so fucking good. You know how good it is? Those are the only songs they play when they play live.
Oh, yes.
God, I love Hawthorne Heights. You should check out that band, guys. Like, yes, in the Silence in Black. Wait,
Silence in Black
Ohio
Man.
is for Lovers is a bad song.
It's a good song
and
now.
outside of the context of the record.
I like it now.
Sure, but you should give that band a chance. They're really good.
They are.
Number
They are.
26, debut album from this record. I put this band on a very high pedestal, not only because of this album, but for follow-up records already. I talked about this band before. I already talked about their best album, but what about one of my favorites? Dear Diary, my teen
Ooh.
angst
Has a body count.
by From First to Last. The debut album featuring who you guys might know as Skrillex.
Nobody knows him as that anymore.
I knew him as 15-year-old Sonny Moore.
And you said, this 15-year-old really gets me.
This 15-year-old
Understands
really
my
gets
18-year-old.
lyrics that was written to him by 23-year-old Matt Good.
You were 18 at the time.
Yeah.
So, this is perfect for you. So, that's in my top 178.
Okay,
But
cool.
it's still an 8 out of 10.
Really
I'd
good
say.
shit. Oh, and Adam's gonna be a hard time, not because of why I like this record. I'm sure he is gonna understand why I like this record. But my number
Elsie.
25, I think he's gonna give me a hard time because of the length of this record.
The length.
Yeah, the length.
Like there's
Adam,
18 tracks or something like that?
there's 18 tracks, and we're going.
Hey,
I think there might be 18 tracks. If you think about the full release of this, but no, I'm only talking about the EP that was attached to this. thing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a band that I hold very dearly to my heart, and this is the first time. It's like when you haven't heard from a friend in a really long time, and they write you this letter. It's unexpected. They unexpectedly write you this letter. You read it, and it just kind of documents. I'm doing really well now. I'm kicking drugs. I'm kicking alcohol. I'm going to a therapist, and I'm gonna be okay. And
Does he talk about going to therapy on this?
not on this one, but I'm just kind of making an analogy. This is Follow Your Bliss EP, my 2012 best album of the year.
Best album. Still number 1 album, even on re-review.
By Census Fail.
Okay.
This was, from all the years I've been listening to Census Fail, I've always pitied Buddy Nielsen for what he goes through and the things that he shares very openly and candidly with his fans and everything. And this is the first time I listened to his records and thought, oh wow, he's actually doing it. He's gonna be okay now.
Here's 4 songs of how he's doing it.
Yeah.
And here's 12 more songs.
13 tracks later. Wow, yeah, this is a highly listenable album that I still listen to this day, also because of the positive affirmations in this. This is Warpaint, the opening track. There's a bridge that leads into the ending over here that I almost got tattooed on my body.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a whole paragraph. I was like, yeah, that's gonna take too long. So
Nobody wants to read a paragraph on your body, Mike.
it's gonna get uncomfortable. People are gonna read it, and I'm gonna stand there for 2 minutes because they can't read cursive. So
To Winton?
it's 12 minutes long, 4 tracks. Highly recommend you guys check this out. Some of the Census Fail is the best one.
Never to be heard from live again.
Never say never.
I won't.
Okay.
Okay. But yes, I understand. It's great. It's just 4 songs, and I have my ethics.
You have
problem
your
with that.
ethics.
Yes.
He's ethics. He studied ethics in journalism.
I did. All right, so we talked about AFI. So my number 29 album and my allegedly favorite album from this band.
Allegedly.
Because it is a perfect album. Further down on Mike's list, but already discussed. And that would be the masterpiece that is Artist in the Ambulance
Oh,
by Thrice.
your favorite Thrice album, man.
My favorite Thrice album of all time.
It is so good.
It's the only perfect one.
It is so good, Adam.
I would have loved to have put Beggars somewhere on here, and but it's
you
just,
always contend is your favorite until now.
I did. I know. So hey, these are the things you learn from doing these kind of lists.
We learn so much about ourselves.
Now I know that Beggars is
LC's number 28,
Beggars is my least favorite Thrice album,
which is weird.
besides their first two.
Right.
Anyway, and the first two aren't that bad either. Number 28. I haven't mentioned this band in a long time, but that would be Youngbloods.
Whoa.
By the Amity Affliction.
The Amity Affliction.
I have so many anchors.
Yeah, that's a lot of angers.
That anchors.
Anchors.
Yes. So even throwing in the bonus tracks, 15 pieces of flair and Snickle Fritz.
Snickle Fritz.
This album is everything about this band that I needed them to be.
It's at the height of their powers for you.
When I didn't know them yet in 2010.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known of them. This album definitely bleeds well out of Severed Ties. Yeah, I listened to it again yesterday. It still stands up as a perfect album. And I even bumped it up a couple of notches from where I had it before. It's like not a lot on there that's bad.
My girlfriend Erica still loves the Amity Affliction.
Does she have a favorite album yet?
Not yet. I have not asked her what her favorite is yet.
Probably just be your favorite album. She's busy downloading your brain into hers.
Probably, yeah. I bring the weather with me.
Yes, I do. Rain. My number 27 album, oddly enough, I found out that this is my new... Oh, actually, I thought that I liked... Yeah, let me rewind here.
Okay.
Delete this. This is my next favorite album from this band.
Okay.
But that would be
next favorite.
2006's masterpiece. That was December Underground.
Oh!
We already talked about AFI plenty over the last couple of
So
weeks.
you have one more favorite. Is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know what I have when it comes to AFI.
You completely
I
forgot.
can't look at the rest of my list. I have no idea what is there.
This is
even
a
though it's
brand new list
right in front of me.
Listen to for the first time ever.
December Underground, as we know, awesome all the way through. I know
so
for you it took a long time to come around too.
For some reason it did. I mean, it's, I guess similar to how
Sing the Sorrow
was for you.
So if it was too much of an abrupt shift, you're like, where's my Leaving Song Part 3?
I want my Leaving Song Part 3. I'm still waiting.
Still waiting.
14 years later, I'm still waiting.
But yeah, every time I listen to December Underground, I'm always surprised how much I enjoy it because I'm always like, oh, I don't think that I like this album as much as I do. And then I listen to it like, oh, nope, it's a perfect album.
Yep. It's great. It's great. Everyone should listen to it. It's wonderful.
My number 26 album of all time would be my number 1 album of 2015.
Oh!
The breakout sensation that was the Under the Radar band, I the Mighties.
I the Mighty.
Connector. Out of nowhere, that band shot to number 1 on my list.
Yep.
And even going back and listening to it, I'm like, nope, everything on here.
They're the
damn good.
Hands Like Houses of 2015.
I will say nay to that. There are definitely more memorable tracks from I the Mighty than there are.
I didn't mean that in an offensive way. I just meant like they were the band that like came out of nowhere. Right
Okay. I was going to say, there's no more Hands Like Houses on the way up my list. As far as I know. I can't see past the number I'm on.
You're blinded.
But my number 25 album. Perhaps some controversy, because Mike enjoys this band, but I know he's not as big of a fan
Semantics
of this album. I mean, it is the album after a masterpiece, in my opinion. No, not a masterpiece, but a near masterpiece. So, a little bit of the nostalgia factor on this. Granted, it's been, about a decade since I started listening to this band. And click, click, clickety-clack.
click, click, boom.
Dynamite. All right. So, setting the scene. It's December 2007.
Underground.
I just met a guy named Mike and his band, The First Among the Fallen.
And we just joined that band.
We talked about music that we like.
Yeah.
And I think I might have mentioned, like, hey, do you guys like this band? And Mike said, yes, I do like that band. And I was like, okay, well, this band sounds like a band that I should listen to if I'm going to be in this band with Mike.
Yeah.
So on December 31st, 2007, nearly 2 years after this album came out,
Mm.
I took my car to Toyota to get an oil change. And then
Ooh, I remember
I
this
walked
story.
from Toyota to the Target on Orange Show Road
Yeah.
in San Bernardino.
Yes.
Back when it was safe to
Yes.
walk on Orange Show Road in San Bernardino. That Target still stands to this day.
Unfortunately.
And I walked in and I found this album and I said like, oh, I know that song from the radio because I'd heard 3 songs from the radio
Give it to me, baby.
on this album. I put it in and again, it was like a Stone Temple Pilots moment.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard this album the first time, I knew
Give it
my
to me,
world
Adam.
was changed.
Give it to me, Adam. Give me that Rise Against.
Give me that Sufferer and the Witness.
Damn right. I
So-
remember when he told me that story, too. Oh, brings back so many memories.
I remember putting it in the CD player of my car and just being like, whoa, I think I really enjoy this type of music I'm going to be playing.
Yeah.
Granted, our music was nothing like Rise Against in,
Well, I mean,
in hindsight.
he had some punk stuff.
A little bit here and there. But I was just like, okay, I can get into music that's like hardcore and up-tempo.
Yeah.
And then after that, you gave me their other albums.
Yes.
And the AFI stuff. And then like for the next 3 years, that's about all I listened to.
Yep, on a loop.
was Rise Against an AFI. And this was the song I would hear on the radio all the time and be like, I like this song. I really like this song.
I love the tempo change into the chorus. It's so good. This song is great.
And I know, like, when you listen to it all the way through, there's so much, like, hooky factor here that by the time you get to this one, second to last track, you're just like, I'm melting. At least that's the way I feel.
Yeah.
And so this song just is everything about this album. So
I know this is a perfect album for you, but
Yes.
what do you feel about the song The Approaching Curve?
I like that song because of the chorus.
The chorus is cool.
I really wish that maybe he hadn't have done the spoken word,
Yeah.
but that's okay. But I do like the chorus a lot, so I have to kind of give it a pass.
That song is hit or miss for me, The Approaching Curve. And
And-
some days I like it, some days like, this is dumb.
So I really like Bricks, Ready to Fall's good, Prayer of the Refugee. I mean, just all the way through. And I just listened to it on my drive home yesterday,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, I could listen to this album for days and then put it away for years and go back to it and just be like, blah, blah, blah.
Pick up right where you started,
Yes.
too.
So this was originally lower down on my list, and I'm like, no, it's got to go up to 25. The stuff from here on
Kicked
up,
it in the butt.
the stuff from here on up, I feel is better, but this seemed like the right place for this album.
Number 25.
Woo!
Good job, Rise Against. You've stuck with Adam all these years.
No, and so
You've
it's
lasted me and Adam's our entire friendship.
not pretty much. But I know that's not an album of theirs that you like a lot.
My number 101, Adam.
I was just wondering what your problems were with that album. That was
Oh, I just think that like the album as a follow up to Sufferer and the Witness, I was like, okay.
Siren Song.
Sorry. Yeah, as a follow up to Siren Song, I feel like it misses the mark. There are some great songs on here, and then there's some kind of songs that kind of just kind of bring it to a screeching halt. Like I'm on and off about The Approaching Curve,
I
and
like Roadside. That's
Roadside's
like
a good song. Good song.
It's
I feel
like
that
one of
should've-
those-
I feel like that's where the album should have ended, and then kind of throw the good left undone like somewhere in the middle.
somewhere in the middle, yeah. But the more I listen to it, the more I'm just like happy that it's right there at the like second to last song.
Yeah, you could probably kind of think of the last 2 songs as bonus tracks, I guess.
So yes,
Here we go. These are the albums that just missed my top 20.
okay.
These are albums I hold dear to my heart for different reasons. Starting with my number 24. This is the debut album of this side project from a very talented singer-songwriter. He's written many albums before, but I feel like this was his sweet spot when he formed this project.
Yes.
That would be Twin Forks.
Yes.
With the album Twin Forks.
Yes.
The
Now-
most adorable ass love songs
I know.
I have
It's-
ever heard.
There's elements of it that are just too folky for me at times.
It's a folk record
But there's
album.
some great songs
It's supposed
on it.
to be folky.
But towards the back, where he starts doing his Brian Fallon impressions, that's where it gets really good and dark.
yes. There are so many things in this album that I love. It's right up my alley too. Like if there's one thing that brings me weak in the knees, it's really good love songs. And I just talked about that with my number 40 album with Carry the Fire,
Nice.
A lot of great love songs in there, and I feel like Twin Forks just does it better. Really
Okay.
good stuff.
All right, cool.
Number 23. Adam's going to disagree with me wholeheartedly, but you know what? I got to stand by my nostalgia. I got to stand by what this album means to me and what it meant for my music taste. And that would be Sticks and Stones
Ooh.
by Newfound Glory.
Disgusting.
You can eat a dick.
You even said on re-listen that it wasn't that great and it was just your nostalgia.
It is my nostalgia, but nostalgia
All right,
is a
fine.
powerful thing.
So your number 23 album?
Number 23.
Okay.
I love songs like Sunny. I tease this song, but I love My Friends Over You. That's a great song, dude. Understatement's a great
We mentioned last week how on Coming Home he finally chooses You over My Friends.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was the better sounding record. But anyway.
yes. And then of course it ends with the song called Story So Far. I like that song a lot.
That is a good song. I do like
Great
that song
yeah.
a lot.
So my number 22, the first and only mention of this band, despite this band's long and successful career, especially in my heart, but my number 1 album, 2015, Kintsugi
Kintsugi.
by Death Cab for Cutie. Oh,
There you go.
we just went from a bunch of love songs with Twin Forks to a bunch of I miss Zoe Deschanel so much.
Why do you drag me through the mud? So you feel that Plans doesn't hold up to Kintsugi?
My number 101, Adam.
Do you have too many 101s?
I have a lot of 101s. Plans is a really good record.
Yes.
I feel like Kintsugi knocks Plans out of the park because overall it fits the
Oh, man.
concept.
It-
And I love
yeah.
concept records. And when you take a concept record and you...
That is true, because Plans is much more like,
These
here's
were a bunch of songs. Yeah.
that are really good.
Yeah.
Kintsugi, there's,
Kintsugi is
an
on all another level because he went into a whole mindset and it all fits together and it fits a narrative. And by the end of that last song, you feel like you went through this whole breakup and divorce process with
Yes.
him, and it's heartbreaking.
Sometimes when you reach your 40s, you write your best stuff.
Exactly.
So-
Which means you and I still have still have a
Almost
chance.
there.
We're there, baby. Number
Sometimes. I'm not saying very often.
21.
21.
What just missed the top 20 albums of all time? Well, I'll tell you. It's an album. This is this band's 5th album. And people were a little nervous. Fans of this band were a little bit nervous because they just picked up a new lead singer.
Oh.
And people were like, well, is this guy a good fit? I don't know. I just have to find out. And then a single came out. And the single was amazing.
And you were like, ooh.
And people were like, oh.
Like, I wonder if that singer is attractive. I wonder. It might be.
It's like, oh, you had my intrigue. Now you have my attention.
Yes.
You know? And
Why am I naked right now? I'm so
why
confused.
am I jacking off? This picture of this beautiful man with this really bearded drummer who's high all the time. But you got that Will Swan, baby. You got that John Mess, baby. You got that Tillian Pearson singing vocals, baby. We got Acceptance Speech.
The 2 other guys.
And the others.
And the rest.
This is an Acceptance Speech by Dance Gavin Dance. This is by far my favorite Dance Gavin Dance record.
Well,
It's
I would have to agree, though it was my number 77.
Yeah.
It's still my favorite, I think.
You don't have any other Dance Gavin? Oh, of course not.
Instant Gratification was a little bit higher.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
I mean, they're pretty close.
Yes.
Instant Gratification was the follow-up to this record. But
Yes.
my goodness, this band really, really surprised people. Not only with their, their new heightened lineup, but also just the fact that these are the best songs, in my opinion, that Dance Gavin Dance has ever written. They're still really interesting with some weird guitar work, some weird time changes as well. But they're still, but because they have that Tillian Pearson factor, they've got that singability, that catch factor, and then you got and then they throw you the curveball all the time with that weird ass John Mess shit that I'm sure he takes all the drugs and writes random words on the thing and then starts screaming them.
cats are in the attic and my face is in your butt. Wait.
Adam's got the exclusive new lyrics to
Do it.
DGD8.
Next album. Man, everything about this album was like great, except one song, but it still flowed really, really well.
Yeah, each song complements each other really well. And there's 2 tracks in here that have some Will Swan rapping.
That's right.
What the hell?
And some birthday cake.
Some birthday cake.
Wait, that's an instant gratification.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that. I'm glad to know that this was your favorite Dance Gavin Dance album.
Oh, it's so good. We're gonna get there. I thought we were gonna get there naturally, but I guess not. We just have to stall. Holding, holy.
Doesn't it sound like a lot more than 5 guys?
It sounds like
50
a
musicians.
Slipknot amount of musicians here. Oh,
This motherfucker
holy, make this motherfucker golden. And the song goes on for 3 more minutes. That sounds like the end of the song, and it's really fucking
That was
good.
the death of the robot?
The death of the robot with human hair.
Human hair.
Don't worry, he comes
All right.
back.
Cool.
He
yes.
gets reincarnated.
He gets reincarnated. The young robot. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Fiddle.
All right. So, hey, for the first time on my entire list, maybe the last, I'm not so sure, but my number 24 album, the first album from the Gaslight Anthem that I've mentioned.
Ooh.
Is that true? Have I not mentioned any
You
Gaslight
have
Anthem
not
songs?
mentioned Gaslight Anthem.
That's
The
weird,
first
huh?
time I thought Gaslight Anthem was the first time it's been mentioned.
So the odd thing is that, this is just the album that was the beginning of the band.
Oh.
Finding their sound.
Yes.
Getting it right perfectly every single time.
From here on out.
But that would be 2007's Sink or Swim.
Sink or swim.
Now I'm sure Mike and I may have heard a track or two when this band opened for Rise Against back in 2008.
Go home. Go back to Jersey.
We hate you. Sorry it's sorry it's raining, Brian Fallon. God, we're not perfect here.
We came here to listen to music, not listen to your jokes.
Get off the stage. We want Alkaline Trio. So Sink or Swim, phenomenal. What can I say? Every track is great.
I agree.
But it's like the band becoming who they are. So it would be interesting to hear what like Brian Fallon's bands before Gaslight sounded like. If there's anything
more
similar.
Gaslight sing along before they became the Gaslight Anthem.
Yes, there's no like sad love songs on this one. It's a lot more like.
He was probably still married at that point.
I think so.
Yeah.
But man, the I can go on for days.
He hasn't gotten
Anyway.
hurt yet.
He hasn't gotten hurt yet. My number 23 album was already mentioned by Mike, and thank you so much for introducing me to this album and this band. And even though they've had their ebbs and flows, I'm still happy that we know this album. Illuminatio.
Oh.
Chiodos.
Oh, that's
Can you believe
fucking good.
I put Illuminatio above a Gaslight Anthem album?
I know.
Pretty crazy, huh?
That's pretty crazy.
But it's a 12 out of 12. I mean, straight through, everything great. Like, this was my first understanding. Like, I thought that I had gotten hardcore music with Rise Against, but I felt like I really got it with Chiodos. My
You
first
got to
introduction.
throw in some orchestral elements in there, baby.
Right.
It's a whole
And-
nother level of hardcore.
I wish the best for Brandon Bulmer and his Walgreens shift going on.
I hope he's getting more hours.
I hope so. He needs some more money. My number 22 album of all time would have to be my number 2 album of 2016.
Ooh.
And that would be the band we're going to go see in 2 weeks.
Yes.
And maybe again on Warped Tour.
Beartooth.
Beartooth.
Aggressive.
Oh, here comes the little one.
You look like a monkey.
Can you say goodnight to the people? No. All right, go give Mike a hug.
Good night, sweetie. Good night, little monkey. We'll see you soon, okay? You have fun at SeaWorld.
But yes, Beartooth, their
Beartooth.
2016 masterpiece. Every time I go back to it, it's
Aggressive. Did you say the album name?
great. Aggressive. The Aggressive album. Yeah,
Getting a
definitely.
deluxe edition sometime in the near
We
future.
mentioned that earlier this
Yeah.
evening. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to point out anything on that album that's not great.
Even
it's just
though it has some cringy lines here and there.
well, you got to remember he's 24.
He's lived a life.
He wrote this when he was 23.
Yes.
And
He was so old.
He's done more in the music industry than we could ever possibly imagine to do.
That hurts my heart.
He's got pyro.
He's got pyro.
There's going to be pyro at that show in 2 weeks.
I know.
So he deserves the accolades that are my number 22 album, better than a Gaslight Anthem album.
Better than a Gaslight Anthem.
Whoa. So my number
How
20,
dare you, Shomo.
My number 21. The last album to not make my top 20 list. And what can I say about this band? But I told a little story last time. But then I told Mike, like, hey, why don't you hook me up with some of them other albums by that band? And Mike said, sure thing, dog. I'll get that for you. So he gave me album 1, album 2, album 3. And I was just like, yes, yes, and yes. But
Pump it.
my number 21 album would have to be the debut album from Rise Against. And this is one of the bonus tracks.
Yes.
But holy fucking shit, by the time you get to track 18, everything else is great.
18 people. 18 tracks on
I mean,
this.
there's a lot of 1 minute tracks on it.
Yes.
But
This is the unraveling.
this is the unraveling. And all the way through, this album makes me want to thrash, mosh, destroy. I spent a lot of time listening to it in my car, and by the time this song comes around, nearly, I would say, perfect song. This particular track right here.
This is the punkiest that Rise Against probably will ever be.
I would say the following albums get pretty punky. Up until Appeal to Reason. That's their
As far
first.
as like raw punk, raw young punk.
This is the rawest, I suppose. But I would say their next 3 albums are pretty punk. And I will believe
Just barely miss top 20. Good
barely
choice.
missed my top 20. How many more Rise Against albums could there be?
Oh no.
The Black Market? I mean,
Yes.
I miss this. I miss these bridges.
I don't think the Unfortunately,
read the
I don't
lyrics.
think the band misses them though very much.
You don't think they miss these songs?
I don't think they do.
Man.
I think they've moved on from it. I think they're a mature, social justice warriors now.
Well, they weren't going into the social justice realm yet.
Yet.
And the song's almost over, right?
Yeah, 30 seconds left.
Okay, let's just listen to the end because it's a short song. It just has one of the greatest closings, and like every time I would listen to this, I would just go rah at the end of the album.
Yeah. A cool little punk bark at the end.
I mean, how do you like not go
I know, right?
at the end of that? So the Unraveling Rise Against 2001 masterpiece
That
album.
was the mic drop moment too at that point. Woo!
Nice.
Good choice, man. Good choice.
Okay.
So going forward, we're going to be talking about every single album. We're not going to be glossing over them
Track
anymore.
by track.
Track by track.
Everybody will really hate us.
No, I think it's going to be good, man. So next week, we're going to be talking about top 20 to 11.
11.
So hang on to your underpants, folks.
I am
If you don't
looking
wear, if
forward
you're
to
like
it.
me and sometimes you don't wear underpants, then like hold on to your dinglings.
Well, there you go. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4 nostalgia albums
Okay.
over the next 10 albums.
Let's see. As far as nostalgia goes, I have. I guess you can call that one. Yes, that one. That one. That one. I'm
Rest
gonna
of the
count.
20.
No, 4. I'm gonna count 4. So just like you, I have 4.
Okay. Because it's weird with me is like what could be a nostalgia album for you is something that I've only heard in the last.
I was
5
born
years.
in 2004.
My music tastes were born in 2008.
Yeah, I started listening to music in 2001. So thank you guys for checking out our list this week. would you like to sound off on anything, my friend?
Well, I listened to the last two Living End albums.
Okay, how did that go for you?
The album number 6 of theirs is called The Ending is Just the Beginning Repeating.
The ending
It's a mouthful.
is just the beginning repeating. Okay,
So
I get it.
It's all right. It's not as good as their last one by any means, but
Okay.
there's some standout tracks on there for sure. The title track is the closer. It's a really good song. Like there's some great drum dynamics in the chorus. So again, I highly recommend listening to all of them.
Okay.
And I have not seen my coworker this week.
I was
So
about to ask that. This is a question that we're all asking. Have you talked to your cute coworker?
not yet because we're very busy at my job.
Damn it.
We're saving lives. So I can't.
One living end at a time.
One living end at a time. And then Shift came out 5 years later.
Yes.
The band kind of took a little hiatus, but not according to their Wikipedia page. According to them, they're just like, we put out the album 2011, and then we went on tour, and then in 2015 we had a new
years.
album. So 2016's Shift. I'm still like thinking I need to listen to this one a couple more times because
Okay.
I listened to it again this morning, and it was like a 4 out of 11.
Ooh.
I really was like not feeling it
Weird
at all.
new direction, or
Just like kind of more boring songs. There was, the 4 tracks that I liked were good,
Okay.
and a couple of them were real standouts, but a lot of just kind of blah.
Oh, okay.
But I think I need to give it a couple more listens just to kind of solidify that 4 out of 11, because this is going to end up on my 2016 list somewhere in there.
Yes. At the very top, I'm sure.
So now I don't have anybody to listen to until
So-
you hook me up with some Streetlight Manifesto.
Oh, yes. We will be checking that out because they're going to be hitting up Warped. Our tattoo artist recommended that to us.
Yes. And they'll be there for one day. That we won't be there, but they're ska, and he played their music while I was getting my tattoo.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And they're ska.
Pretty ska.
They're going to be at the Observatory on April 4th.
I don't know anything about this band other than their name.
They've been around since 2003.
Okay.
They're considered the third wave of ska.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
There's waves now.
Apparently.
Okay.
And when I listened to it with Matt, it sounded like ska. But I'm willing to give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot. We owe that to our fans. And if you guys want to get into contact with us, you can rewind this episode to when I gave you all our contact information. That is The Skinny with Mike and Adam on Facebook. You can go to Twitter at The Skinny Pod. You can subscribe to us on iTunes as well, but also on YouTube at The Skinny Official. And you can email us if you like at theskinnywithmikeandadam.gmail.com. And you can, review us on iTunes. You can drop us a review.
Getting a message like that was pretty awesome.
That was really cool.
That was-
like honestly, that felt really good. And,
Yes.
and it really and even he's like calling us out on our hate of, not hate, but, our
Our
distaste of some of the
distaste,
favorite band. And that's
yes.
great. Share your opinions with us. We love to
Yes.
hear them.
Even if you think What It Is to Burn is not as good as Say
And
Hello to
that's great,
Sunshine.
too. Yeah, I
That
love
was-
hearing
that worked.
differing opinions, and because that we're all different. We all have our own music taste, stuff that shapes us, which is why we're doing this list. We only give you guys an idea of the music that shapes who we are as people, and kind of shapes our music tastes and the kind of songwriting that we did when we were musicians. Not that you guys are familiar with the music we made, but
It's still up on the internet if
It's
anybody wants
there.
to listen to it.
But tune in next week, and we're going to do some really intense shit. We're probably going to yell at each other. There was a little bit of yelling going this week, but we still love each other. It's great.
27.
Yep.
27.
Where it belongs, Adam.
27.
That's his
Just
number.
saying.
It's his number one album, I'm fucking sure.
It might be my number.
It's his number one album.
6.
It's going to be his number. It's going to be top 5.
You don't know anything.
I don't know
until
shit
I
about
tell
shit.
you where anything goes.
Even Adam doesn't know, apparently. But tune in next week, guys. It's going to be a great episode. For my co-host, Adam, I am your co-host, Mike. Sign me off, Adam.
See you Monday morning, if not getting some.
At SeaWorld.